Um, just so you know, Ryan, I will have nothing to promote. So
Correct.
No.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Register
that's
to
cool.
vote. Register to vote. That's what I promote.
Oh God! I just
Amen.
remembered the presidential debate.
Don't. Please don't.
Yeah, I know. It was-
Okay. I need to pull my character sheet out.
All right.
Whoa, far out, dude. That's pretty cool. Whoa, it's like a video thingy. What? No. What did you
Hey,
make
how are
that?
you already seeing it? Oh, you just looked him up on Twitch?
Yeah, I'm watching the Twitch stream right now. There's two other people in here. Nope.
I think we can't hear through the stream right now. The stream is putting out audio.
That's just because I was in there.
Yeah, sorry. That was my bad. I think it was me, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we have headphones on, so I'm not sure how either that worked for either of us. I like how clear my voice sounds, though, so that's good.
All right, so hello, people. Welcome all to episode 1. I gotta zoom out so you guys see I'm only holding one finger up. It has been a long ass time since I have streamed any D&D game, and I'm very excited. I just realized all of my players' names are in the wrong fucking order because that's how professional I am.
Oh wow!
It's a quick fix. Look at this. I can just rotate things around. Bam. Every single one of them was, except for my name, was in the wrong spot. I am professional, people.
Yeah, at least I'm like switched with Lily.
Yeah, cool.
Well,
You know, like, you can't, come back to a stream and not have any sort of, hiccups.
that could be like a fun game one time. Like we wake up and we're like in each other's bodies, like a Freaky Friday sort of thing.
Body swap.
Access to each other's character sheets.
Oh, that would be terrifying.
Hey.
But for those who've never watched before, I am O'Day, aka Cautionnerds. I run this shit. We used to do this 3 to 4 times a week, but between different hiatuses, multiple players dropping in and out, we just kind of cut it for a little while. But with the new module, I decided let's get back into streaming my weekly games. I'm gonna go through real quick. I'm gonna start from like the top left on my screen and rotate around. People can introduce themselves and their characters. Say as much or as little as you want about your character, and once we do that, we will hop on into actually playing Rime of the Frostmaiden. So sadly, that puts Lily. You are up first on who gets to introduce themselves.
Oh, hi. I'm Lily. Should I introduce my character or?
Who are you playing as? Like, say as little or as much as you want about that character.
All right. I'm playing a human artificer. She's a native to Icewind Dale, actually, born in one of the 10 towns, but she left Icewind Dale for a while to like study how to become an artificer in Neverwinter, and she's actually coming back, I guess, to town. And that's, I guess, where I'll stop, and we'll find out why.
Up next, Erica. Tell people who you are and who you're playing as. Though I just said your name, so.
It would help if I was not muted. So let's try take 2. My name's Erica, and I am playing Korlavra, who is a human rogue. And I also was born in Icewind Dale, a native of 10 towns. And the reason both Lily and I's characters were born in 10 towns is because we're sisters. Yay. And so I'm super excited to see how this campaign goes down and not die. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. Up next, Chris, go ahead and tell us a little about yourself and your character.
I'm Chris. I'm playing Dormark Morndin. I'm a Warforged Cleric of the Forge. I think that 5 times fast. And I was created in Icewind Dale, in the Battlehammer clan.
So many people from Icewind Dale. It's actually nice to have some people that are characters that are native to this area. So it means when things happen, I can be like, hey, as a native, you would know such and such. It might give you a little bit of an edge over the other two. So now that we're done with our Icewind Dale natives, let's move on to our other two. Let's start down the bottom right. Good, Casey, tell us a little bit about your character.
Hello and good evening. My name is Casey. I will be playing as Stanislaus, last name undecided as of yet. Stanislaus is a paladin character with his trusty halberd that has served him quite well during his time in the military of Waterdeep. He has since become a monk of sorts, but not a monk class, just like he lives in a monastery, does like monk shit. It's pretty cool. And he is finding himself traveling, doing some mission work to Icewind Dale.
Alrighty. And last and maybe not least, we don't know yet. Taylor, go ahead, tell us about your character.
Right. I'm Taylor, and I will be playing Siobhan, Tiefling Warlock. Not from round here, but I'm in town to do a bunch of crime. I'm being informed I will not be permitted to do crime. Yeah, that's about it. That's all you get to know.
That's awesome. And I was going to type this out because you might see me be muted, or you won't see me, but viewers might hear that I'm not making noise every once in a while for the next 20 minutes during some parts. That's because my daughter's running around. So if you all hear stomping and whatnot, she's still awake. It's not her bedtime. I'm not going to make her go to bed early so I can play a game. I'm a nice person. So, let us jump into this game and all that it entails. We're going to start with the wonderful thing that's written in the game called the Cold Open. It is our wonderful little introduction to the horrors, not really horrors, but the cold, frigid air of Icewind Dale. So, it says, Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun in over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears over the mountains, not even in what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Oriel, the Frostmaiden, the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk in the scattering of settlements known as 10 towns. The drop-off in caravans coming from the south and travel between the settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Although each town is resolved to appease the Frostmaiden with sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems forthcoming. For adventurers such as yourself, 10 Towns is a place to test one's mettle, and the spirit of heroes who have come before leave one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. So, everyone is in right now the town of Brinshander. I don't know why I said Brinshire. It is usually the first main settlement that anyone traveling to the Dales will come across. It is the largest of the 10 towns. If you would consider a capital, it would be that, though if you try to call Brinshander the capital of 10 towns and any of the other 9 towns, you probably will find a knife in your back. very quickly. Currently, our rogue, Korlavra, has been in town for a few days, awaiting the arrival of her sister and her sister's companion to arrive back home to the Dales. Meanwhile, our Paladin and Warlock, traveling together from the south, have arrived in Bryn Shander about a day prior, and have recently learned, or almost right away, because it's kind of the talk of the town, learned of some mysterious murders that have happened. Now, while murder does happen in the towns, I mean, just like any place, this has been different. Each of the victims have been found with a dagger of ice, pure ice, in the heart. No one has seen the murders happen. They just see the victims later on. And it's become kind of the talk of the town. People going wondering, will I be the next victim? Will Summer ever return to Icewind Dale? Is there something to stop the next sacrifice? But all those fears that were already there due to the winter, nothing breeds more paranoia than a murderer with no face. So we come in at the I forgot the name of the inn because I'm a smarty. We come in at the what town? I'm trying to find the name of the inn. Okay, the North Look. Sorry, I lost where it was on the page. It is the inn and tavern of like the main one of the town. There's a couple like smaller ones throughout. This is like where a lot of mercenaries and adventurers go. It's the rowdiest bar. But because it's the most known, it's the easiest to meet people, meet contacts, meet family and friends. We come in with Korlavra talking to an older dwarf, a female dwarf by the name of Lynn, discussing pretty much the rumors of the murders that have been happening as Korlavra waits for her sister to arrive sometime in the day. So, Korlavra, this dwarf, it is like I said, it's an older female dwarf. She carries with her like right next to her seat at the table that you're all sitting at, a huge ass battle axe, probably the size of her, but you can tell by muscles that she has or like the way she like just carries herself. She could probably swing that thing as if it is fucking nothing. She's you've know one of the victims of the murders, and she and as she was like kind of scoping out for people that might be interested in helping her hunt down who this murderer might be, you two kind of just fell into each other, discussing possible leads or rumors that mutually beneficial. So she looks at you and goes like, well, I do have a single lead right now, but I'm not 100% sure. It is there's been a caravan traveling lately. And she like talks like this gruff, like you can see like scars along her throat, what's hence the rougher voice. She's like, there's been a traveling caravan coming around lately, and the same days that the murders happened, that caravan was in the town that the murders were. I don't know if anyone I can't prove that anyone from there did it, but it's a lead that I have, and the guards don't, can't say guards, the militia, they don't give a damn. Not until we can get actual proof. She says to you.
Yes, the militia does tend to turn its blind eye on certain crimes. So you said a traveling caravan. Do you know, were they hawking wares, or do you know what their purpose was?
Oh, they're just they travel throughout the Dales, not regularly. They just, I think they're making like one or two more passes throughout the towns before leaving this godforsaken place. But they've been to all three. Back up. The three towns where people were murdered. East Haven, here in Brinshander, and then Targos. Like, they were there the same day. I know one of them have to be part of this murderous rampage.
Well, it's certainly at least more than anyone else I've heard whisper. Do you know where that caravan might be traveling next?
Oh, they left they left here in Brinshander a couple days ago. If I had to guess, they are probably heading up north next. I believe towards Lonelywood. I think that is the next one of their next stops. Can't be 100% sure.
Does anyone else? How many others have you spoken with this about?
I had my suspicions, but I tried bringing this up to the captain here in Brinshander after the last murder, and he just kind of shrugged me off. Just called it more rumors and baseless accusations.
Do you know anything else about the other victims? Obviously, we both have a connection through Alton, but do you know if the other two victims had a connection with him as well?
I haven't found any. They have almost nothing in common. Like, Alton was just a trapper. Vargas, he was a shipbuilder. No, they all owned. I guess you can say they all had steady paying jobs. But nothing. They weren't even the same, right? Like, one was a dwarf, one was a human, a halfling. Like, nothing in common. Around this time, doors to the inn open, and we are, like, the camera pans, zooms, and we see a teenage, older, or I don't remember how old Silsa is.
21.
21's not a 14-year-old for once. Got it. So yeah, we see a young woman walk in with a mechanical being right behind her.
6 foot tall, right? Just like giant.
I am 6 foot something.
So yeah, we got a hulking mechanical beast, and I think like everyone in the town, or in the inn, just like music scratch, like
Record scratch.
they're seeing a Warforged is not common, we'll say.
See, I told you they would stare.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of staring. Like, no one's like staring like menacingly, but they're all just like, it's more out of like sheer curiosity.
I think Silsa would kind of look around nervously for her sister.
When Silsa and the Warforged enter, obviously Korlavra would have looked like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time in the scene, like, her eyes would actually have lit up and she would have become like more animated. During the previous scene, she was very like circumspect, like withdrawn.
Yeah.
And so she would probably stand up and immediately like hurry over and embrace Silsa.
Sister! Hug.
Yes. I'm so glad you've returned.
Yeah, I've missed you. How have you been? Still in hug.
Yes. I've been making it as always. And then she will look up because Korlavra is only like 5'4". So she will be like,
Oh, yes. This is... Fuck. Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. I forgot your character's name.
Dormark. Nice to meet you. Heard a few things about you. Finally nice to put a face to the name. I reached down to shake her hand.
yes, certainly a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I don't know if Korlavra would have necessarily ever met a Warforged before.
I think Silsa would have explained it in letter when she said she was coming back. Yes, this is the construct that my master was able to reactivate.
Well, it's certainly tall.
That's the only takeaway you get out of it being a walking mechanical creature.
It's technically living. It's living through magic, right?
Through a mixture of magic and science, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be as steampunky as you want it to be. It can have all the bells and whistles.
Yes.
If you want.
The steampunk aesthetic.
How steampunky is it, Chris?
I wouldn't say too steampunky. Just a slight. I'm not like shooting out smoke and gas, and gears aren't creaking and turning. But for the most part, besides just the clanking, it's pretty uniform. Looks like a bit unfinished, and there's a few wires and nuts and bolts that are a bit loose. But other than that, there's no like.
Hey, I can tighten those and oil them up. Yeah.
It's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they got most of the way done when creating me, but.
In fact, Silsa's she's gonna cast mending right now and bust out her tinker's tool just to like oil up a joint.
Don't think mending works on a living creature.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, you can try to say like, oh wait, that bolt looks a little loose, and like take like a wrench out and tighten it, but like, mending is not going to work on a living creature.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right.
You get no point. You are rewarded no points.
Anyway,
Korlavra will, I guess, invite Silsa and Dormark over.
Yeah, Lynn is looking at the two, like really looking at you as well, going like, you were just having a serious conversation, and you just, I get it. Like, you couldn't have said, hold on a second, you just did.
Yeah. Korlavra will come back over and be like, oh, I apologize. Family first and all of that. And she's kind of back to her more like, put the mask on. Yeah, like.
wait, did you bring my character over or?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would have been like,
Okay.
invited you over. I would have been like, ah.
It's like right when I unmute myself, my kid's like, stomp, stomp, stomp. So yeah, Lynn will be like, I hate to ask, but are these two, I guess, trustworthy?
So Silsa holds her hand out to shake.
Lynn will take like a grizzled hand and shake your hand. It's like she's like missing like one or two of her, like probably two of her fingers. Her line of work was very dangerous. And yeah, so you can see like the battle axe that she has just ready to go in case shit hits the fan for any reason whatsoever. But I know her name.
Korlavra will say, I trust this person, and motioning to Silsa. I trust her with my life.
Very well. I put in the chat the dwarf's full name. Even though it's Lynn, it has an H at the beginning of it for some reason.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Lynn Trollbane.
Definitely spelled it wrong.
Christ.
Do we have our scribe?
Say that again?
Do we have our scribe? Is that our scribe putting that in the group notes?
If anyone wants to, they can.
Right below the beholder with googly eyes.
But
I mean, I've been taking notes, and I can transfer them over. It's not a big deal. I know that Lily, you were gonna think about taking notes as well.
okay. Well, just so we can have everyone enter the party, not not part of this conversation. Like as you 3 or 4, counting Lynn, continue your conversation about the happenings in town or in the towns. Think of it like a TV show. Camera zooming out and zooms back in at like another table at this bar because it's like people eating lunch when that's like midday. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. We go into our other party of 2 players right now until we can find a way to conjoin them. It's Stanislaus. Am I saying the name right?
Not even close. Stanislaus.
Stanislaus. I'm going to fuck that up so many times between now and the end of this first episode.
Stanislaus.
Look, Stanislaus. I'm dumb, all right. I've never made any or anything saying that I am a smart person. You two are currently, I guess, eating lunch, going over the things that you've witnessed for the last day or two. You guys actually tried to speak with the captain of Bryn Shander the other day, or just yesterday, and he it was not captain. I guess it's a sheriff. My bad, Sheriff Markham Southwell. You went to them like looking to see if hey, can we help with these murders, and he didn't really. He kind of shoved you off, but at the same time, it's like he did it in a way where it's like, if you can find something out, we're not going to stop you. But you're not getting like our blessing either. Like you're not going to be part of this militia. You're outsiders.
Oh no, we're officially deputized.
Oh, officially deputized, huh?
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
I mean, if you want to be deputized, if Siobhan was to think that she is deputized, she can think she's deputized.
No, I don't think that I am deputized. I'm telling people that I am.
Oh, even better. But you guys have kind of heard the only information that you've picked up about these murders has been that the first murder happened in a town east of here called East Haven. That was about a month ago. The second murder happened about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, in the town immediately west of here, called Targos. And just 3 days ago was when the most current murder happened, and that was here in Bryn Shander. You've also picked up that even though each victim was found with a dagger of ice in its body, as soon as anyone, or at least people have confirmed it at this town, since it happened here, that after the sheriff went to go do some sort of an autopsy at the crime scene, as soon as he touched the dagger, it melted immediately, leaving no trace of a murder weapon. Which in its own can be kind of odd, since ice should not be melting in Icewind Dale in an eternal winter.
Or like if it's a spell lasting long enough for someone to touch it. You know, normally like conjuring something, it lasts for a few minutes. It's weird either way.
This was body found, like the morning after the murder, still with his dagger in its heart.
Yeah.
And long enough that for the authorities to be called, and yep, once he touched it, melt. So as you guys are going through your, I guess whatever notes or theories you two might have, would be around the same time that you guys are also part of the people that have saw this giant mechanical being walk into the tavern.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Certainly not.
And
Do you want to go up to this one and ask it for information in the name of the law? See how successful that is around here. It's bound to work one of these times.
We could certainly ask it for information, but I really do think, Siobhan, that you're getting quite ahead of yourself with your informality deputization. Sooner or later, someone's bound to ask questions, and that can only lead to our trouble.
I'm not particularly concerned with consequences of my actions.
Well, you should be, because one day I'm not going to be around here to save your neck.
Oh, here's hoping.
We've been together for a month already, and it's too much stress for these old bones.
Stanny, it has been 29 days too many.
It's Stanislaus, and I couldn't agree further.
Absolutely, Stanny. I'm going to split off from the table and go up to the bar.
Sean, you hear like a little voice on your shoulder going, you shouldn't be so mean.
Nicknames are a sign of affection. Or a sign of disrespect. It's up to him to learn which one it is.
So you break away from the table with Stanislaus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind sitting for a little while still. I'll observe from afar.
Where are you heading off to then?
The bar.
Up to the bar. Right, behind the bar is an older human, male. He's eye patch. You can see the part of a scar behind it, so you can make whatever assumptions you want about that.
Robot eye.
You've been since you've been in the bar or in the town for like a day or two. You know this man's name is Scramsax, which I'm going to put in the chat because that's a weird name. Scramsax does not have a last name. Yeah, he's behind the bar, like talking to like one of the other patrons, laughing it up. If he sees you walk up and you like point to like do like that 1 minute please, like little finger up, as he finishes whatever conversation he's having.
Can I get some service?
It takes a little bit longer than you would hope it would. At least like a good like another. It probably doesn't not too long. It's probably only like maybe like 30-40 seconds. But for someone at a bar, it feels like fucking ages.
Yeah.
And he'll eventually like you hear him like do some like little hearty laugh with his customer, and he'll like slowly make his way over to. He's like, "So what do you want?"
2 whiskeys, set them on fire, and I head back to the table.
He's like, okay, coming up. And like, Stanislaus, you'll see like, if you're watching, since you're like watching there, you see as like, Siobhan like walks back, Scramsax is like, and then goes back to like actually getting, the drink. But yeah.
You should really treat service people better. They're generally underpaid.
Paying? I plan to leave a tip.
And maybe about a. It doesn't take too long. He'll eventually come over with the drinks you ordered. He's like, "Are you putting it on your tab? Are you paying up front?"
I'll pay up front.
2 silver for the lot.
Give him 3.
Nods in acceptance and walks back to behind the bar. He's like, and you can hear him like, "I really need to hire a fucking barmaid."
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you have your two whiskeys,
Flaming whiskeys.
flaming whiskeys.
I'll pick up both, hold one out slightly towards Stanislaus, drink that one first, then drink the other.
You're such a dick. Do you two have like? I'm assuming you have all of like your like weaponry type shit on you.
Yep. Yes, correct.
Okay. Cool. Just wanted to make sure before I try to go to the next.
Advance the scene.
Before I try to advance
Yes.
the scene, essentially. So
Would
yeah,
I have seen that? Like, I feel like I would have seen that.
I'm not obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, a tiefling walking up, getting them some fire whiskey.
Literal.
What color of tiefling are you?
I am... So, I'll give the whole description. I am a pale white, almost albino tiefling. I've got a little bit of freckle, straight up pointed horns, a frizzy mohawk of orange hair, and pure red eyes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that stands out.
yeah, that definitely fucking stands out.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing black leather pants, a black leather vest with a parka hood, and no sleeves.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess she definitely stands out. Especially even here in the tavern, where there are like hearths like lit to keep it as warm as possible. There's still that biting cold of the Dales. Especially after the door swung open to allow, a certain Warforged in. And while everyone's kind of like still like relatively bundled up, like wearing like they're still wearing like their coats, seeing her like just wearing normal summer clothes almost with a hood, definitely stands out.
Okay.
So yeah, you would notice this tiefling, maybe not like the whole interaction, but you would definitely notice this tiefling going up and like moving across the bar. There's not many tieflings in the Dales.
Yeah.
Most of the people that live in the Dales are, I guess, very, very similar to the Morel game. It's mostly humans, dwarves, and halflings up here.
Okay.
There are other races, like you'll see elves up here from time to time. You will see tieflings, just not often.
Right. All right.
So I think that the other you probably see a decent amount of dragonborn though, especially the white dragonborns. You'll see a lot of them because they can handle the cold. You'll probably never see a red dragonborn up here, like fucking ever.
Might unpleasant.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you would definitely see that. And the reason I asked about the weaponry and armor, like while that's all happening, Lynn definitely notices it as well, and sees that that Siobhan's not wearing any like warm clothes and is sitting with someone decked out in some armor and weaponry of his own. Yeah, some chainmail. I had to like double check his character sheet. She'll look and be like, I've only seen one other person not affected by the cold like that one is. And he was traveling with that trade caravan to begin with, or with the trade caravan. He one of them just wears almost the same thing. leather pants, a vest. Doesn't wear the hood though.
Was it a tiefling?
No, it's human.
A human with no
Eyes
protective
as
gear.
eyes as blue as frozen ice.
Interesting.
But they look like, or looks at points at both of them, but like more at more at Stanislaus. Ugh.
There you
Get
go.
this right. I'm gonna end up calling him Stanny by the end of this too. Points more at him and goes, "That one looks like he can handle himself in a fight if it comes to it." Her, she looks like she's going to start the fight. Either way, I like it.
Korlavra will look over and like kind of grimace at Stanislaus. Like, oh, he looks like a guard. He looks like he's part of the militia. And then look over at, pronounce your character's name again. I'm going to mess this up.
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Okay. Look over and just be like,
I'm doing the exact opposite, looking at, with grimace at Siobhan and at Stanislaus with like, that could work.
I give both of them a formal nod.
Silsa's just gonna wave from the background.
Hi! Something tells me
Korlavra.
Silsa's going to end up being the
Thanks,
fucking
no.
jester of this group.
That would be fun.
But Lynn will stand up and excuse herself from you guys. And like, let me go ask them a question.
Good luck.
And we'll walk over to you two, Stanislaus and Siobhan.
How far away are we? How far away are these tables?
Yeah, I don't have a map of the inn, which kind of sucks, but it's a decent sized inn. I'd say there's a good maybe like good like 20, 25 tables like in this general area right alone. There's a second floor that has more tables up there. As well as it's essentially like two connecting parts of the building. The first one being the tavern side, and it connects to the second area, which is all the 2 floors of inn. I'd say that you guys are maybe like 5-6 tables over from where these two were.
Is it too loud to try and eavesdrop?
Yes.
Okay.
It is definitely way too loud for that. If you were like 1 table over, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, but nah. Not 4 or 5 tables over. It is a rowdy tavern, so
Fair enough.
but yeah, Lynn will walk over to you guys and actually as she stands up, she'll like take her battle axe and like, you know, like I can't really say throw it over her back. No, you know what? Yeah. You know, anime style, like something you don't know what it is holding that axe to her back, but because there's no sheath. But she will.
It's magnets in the armor.
Exactly. She will sheath her axe and walk over to the two of you and be like, "You two look like you could be useful in a fight." Especially you, as she points to you, Stanislaus.
Fighting is not much of our concern, as much as it is about helping the local town.
Well,
Do you have any
That's
information of what's going on currently?
Well, that's a fucking way to greet someone.
I was like, well, just so happens that those two things might coincide with each other. So you see, you've heard about the murders happening lately, yes?
Correct. I was informed by your local sheriff.
Yes, the Honorable Markham Southwell.
Yeah,
We've
it's
met-
kind of a
we-
dick.
Like you.
But I haven't been talking with my And she like looks back behind her to the other three. She's like, friends? We have a possible lead on who might be involved in this. And as I tried to bring it up to the militia's attention, they just kind of shrugged it off. I'm looking into it onto my own instead.
We'd be happy to join you in your quest and offer any assistance that we may be able to.
That would
Oh,
be...
well, isn't that useful?
Yeah. Don't you love it when things just fall on your lap?
No comment.
She will, and I guess at this time you can see that, actually everyone would see it since as she was like, actually let me back up first. She'll ask you to, come join her compatriots at their table so she can, fully explain it to everyone and what she's willing to, offer for assistance. But as she like walks back to the table, you can see that even though she like holds herself with, I guess pride over, what she has done in her lifetime, you can see as she walks, like the age has caught up to her. She tries, as you roll, if anyone, I think Siobhan and Korlavra, I'll let you two do it, and Stanislaus as well. You three can roll me an insight check.
First
Roll of the game. Oh no, my stream. Oh no, I froze. Oh no. What happened to my internet? This is not good. I froze.
Yeah.
I know your stream froze, yeah.
I completely
There you go.
froze.
Oh my gosh. I froze on the best face ever.
Oh god, you did.
up, we're back.
No, my internet like gave out for like not half a second, but longer than I wanted it to, or would ever wanted to. God damn, that is the great. Like now that it's no longer like blurry on my end, like it was probably the greatest thing to freeze on.
I'm so happy that happened.
So, Korlavra, you're the only one that notices this. Lynn is doing the best she can, and it's she does it very well. But you notice that there is a very pronounced like limp that she is doing her best to hide as she walks. Like she has like a hand ready just to grab the axe if needed. Like you can see like she's on edge, like constantly looking around. But like as she walks, it's like I'm trying to hide the limp, but it is there. But she will.
I like to think. You froze. I like to think Siobhan and Stanislaus are just like staring contests, locked into not being the first one to leave the table. Just not getting up until the other one does.
I feel like he's like maybe. But yeah, she will go back to her table with the others and sit her happy little ass down and wait for you two to come on over. Come on over, boys. Oh, fellas, girls, gals. So do you guys eventually join her, or?
Yeah, eventually.
I'll be the first to go.
I kind of figured that was going to be it. But as you two like walk over, Lynn will like look to you and be like, I just she's sitting down like pointing up. I was like, I just realized I did not fully introduce myself, or have you introduced yourselves to me? My name is Lynn Trollbane. These are a newfound compatriots. Korlavra and her sister Silsa, was it?
Silsa nods.
Yes. And this wonderful machine. I believe you said his name is Dormark.
Yep, you got that right.
The old noggin still has it. Well, please, who do we have the honor of speaking with?
Stanislaus at your service. Formerly of the Five of Torm, now a simple man serving the Torm, the god.
And I'm his partner, Siobhan.
I wouldn't say we're partners. We are just here together. I have it on a noble quest of Torm that there is use for this young one.
Lynn goes like, I don't care what's between you two. You keep that amongst yourselves. It is of no importance. What you do in your free time is of no importance to me.
Oh, no, that's not what I was getting at. Oh, fuck no.
She will continue on saying, like, as I was, telling these three, and as I made brief mention of, to the two of you, like, I have a lead of who might be causing these murders, and after seeing you, Siobhan, it's something kind of clicks a little bit more.
What's that supposed to fucking mean?
You'll find out you're the second person I've seen ever not or seemingly unaffected by the colds here in the Dales.
What, like it's a big deal?
It is a big deal, because the other person that I've seen able to handle this harsh winter as if it was nothing just happens to be traveling with a traveling caravan called the Torg. Torg? What is the full name of the caravan? I'll find that shortly. Torg traveling caravan, traveling circus market. It's owned by a woman named Torga, and she just took out the O, or took out the A in her name, and called it Torg. But traveling with them is a man who, like you, is not affected by the cold. In every town that there's been a murder, they've happened to be setting up shop that same day. Now, I don't have proof that they are involved, but, you gotta follow the leads and the suspicions, correct? I hope, it's my hope to essentially, and looks to the five of you, like, to hire you. I'm far too old to play cop anymore.
Oh, don't say that word.
It's a dreadful word, isn't it? You before bounty hunter, I like to use that.
That's slightly more acceptable.
Alright, well, we'll go with bounty hunter then. The man in question, I believe if I remember correctly, before these murders happened, before I had any suspicions, I've traded with Torg once or twice. If I remember correctly, the man's name is Sephic. But my belief is either him or Torga herself might be behind these murders. If you can apprehend which one of them did it, or if either of them have done it, ascertain their guilt and deal with them if it comes to it. I'm willing to pay you all 100 gold pieces to do this for me.
We'll deal with them whatever is in the realm of the law. We shall go no further than that.
I will...
Korlavra will snort at that.
I appreciate you want to do things within the bounds of the laws, but here in 10 towns, laws are malleable.
Told you.
And if I don't mean, and she looks directly at you as she says this. She's like, I don't mean to come off wrong about this, but I would prefer if you deal with this, you don't involve the authorities. And it's only because they just shook all this off as if it's nothing when I brought it to their attention. And I have no interest in helping assholes.
They had their chance. It's time for a little good old vigilante justice.
And if you bring it to them, if you involve them after any sort of, proof of guilt, they'll just take all the credit and leave you with nothing. But you do this for me, and the money is yours.
Very well.
Last I checked, I don't know which town they're at now. I've stayed in Brinchander since they left the other day. Old bones make it a little harder for travel. I do know they were heading north, or I should say they're heading west first, and then the only place from there is really north. I would assume they might be heading closer to Lonelywood, maybe Tourmaline. I'm not sure exactly, but that is your best leads of where I can send you to help you with this. And I'll put it in the chat, the two names that she gave you, Sefik and Torga.
I definitely spelled his name wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Close.
He has a last name too, but until anyone can figure out figure out what his name is, you don't get the full name. But yeah, she does say the one thing that would definitely makes the Sefik recognizable is the fact that his, other than wearing no warm weather gear, it's like always seen with slicked back black hair and like bright, vibrant blue eyes. Almost like ghostly blue.
Interesting.
But she will excuse herself, and as she's like leaves, she goes, I will be in town for the next week. I'll come back here in the evenings. You can find me here when the job is done. And she will get up, like throw like her heavier coat on, and walk out into the wind.
Okay, bye.
Which leaves the five of you at the table. All kind of just staring at each other. I guess getting a...
I have no plans to be with any of you longer than I have to, when I've lost my appetite. Why don't we make for the road?
That's a smart start. But I don't think me or Silas have snow boots, so it'd be very slow travel, especially compared to an entire caravan.
The only person that would have snow boots right now would be Korlavra. Everyone else would have the cold weather gear, minus Siobhan. But snow boots, that's something you guys have to buy separate from starting gear. If you so choose.
So it might be smart to purchase a pair of those for each of us before we leave.
It's really up to you. So, I don't know if I explained it to everyone. I don't think I did, actually. For overland travel between towns, it tells me how many hours in-game it takes to get from town to town. everyone starts off with the cold weather gear so that they're not affected by the cold and don't have to take exhaustion points. But if you want to essentially double your speed in the snow, you can go and buy cold weather gear. Not cold weather gear, snow boots.
That's the only effect it has. It just doubles our speed.
Doubles your speed during overland travel.
And without them, we're just at regular speed.
You technically at half speed, so you have to. It takes you to. Let me pull everything up. Getting around 10 towns. Here we go. That doesn't give me the ratings I wanted it to. Snow boots reduces it also gives you a chance of not getting caught in deep snow. During travel, it's more along. It's one of those things that they want you to kind of have. Because this module is mostly, or is, milestone based. It's mainly for how long you're in the overland travel and how often you are going to run into encounters. Because obviously, the faster you get between towns, the less chance of you running into some bullshit.
And you said they were like four
snowshoes
coins?
are 2 gold.
2 gold.
I don't even have that much money, so I'm gonna have to sit that out.
Yeah.
I'm a modest monk. I have 1 gold piece.
Damn.
Ew.
Oh wow.
And if you guys ever get the money together, you can hire or buy a couple sleds and some sled dogs that can pull you guys fucking fast as fuck.
Korlavra would definitely ask Silsa how much money she had.
I have a little I can use. But hold on, I'm kind of confused because as a player, I'm like, how is my character getting like involved in this? I guess
because Korlavra spoke for you.
yeah. So it's just gonna be like, sister, what have you been getting involved in?
I mean, I've not been getting involved in anything. This is just, an old friend that was, tragically murdered, and I'm very concerned. And I want to make sure that the murderer is apprehended.
Can I make an insight check?
Yes, you
I
can.
don't need to.
You can insight check. Yeah, no, she's telling the truth. She's a friend of hers has died
Right.
via murder. And I found the travel thing, by the way. Without snowshoes, you can move 1/4 mile per hour on overland travel.
Silsa's gonna ask, are you safe? Are we safe?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes.
I mean,
Insight check.
any of us could potentially be murdered if we haven't figured out the pattern. But I mean, there's hopefully a lot of people in 10 towns to
Does murder really apply to you, mate?
technically yes. It works similar. I'm not immortal. Well, we don't really know yet about aging, but I can. If you do hit me enough, I will die. Quote unquote.
I mean, I was just wondering if it's the same verb, Anyway, and I just glance past Silsa, basically judging, looking up and down Korlavra, being like, okay, this one at least has some sense to her. So what's you do for fun around here?
I mean, this isn't the most fun town in 10 towns, but unfortunately, we're heading in the opposite direction.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, maybe we can all go shoe shopping together and ask about if any of the merchants have been, dealing with this caravan. Maybe if they would know specifics about where they were going. Is there like a chamber of commerce or and I say under my breath to her, like a thieves guild or something that we could possibly ask around to?
So, not really. The closest thing to I guess, I mean, there's a town hall, but that's not really. That's more used for, when all the mayors, or in 10 towns they're called speakers, when all the speakers meet for. Usually, it's supposed to be every month for meetings on how to better the towns, but even in the best of times, you're lucky if you can get all 10 towns speakers to meet like once a year. But that's what the town hall is mainly used for, just for those purposes.
Is there a merchants guild, a caravanners guild, some sort of that sort of thing?
Yes and no. There's no real guild, but a lot of the right in like the center of town, right where the arrows pointing to the black iron blades, there's a lot of like smaller merchants, kind of like in all like stalls and booths. They look out for one another, but they are in competition with each other. They will, they'll help each other out when there's big issues, but overall they're like, nah, why are you going to shop with that guy? Fuck that guy, shop with me. Type deal.
Right.
Very street vendor-ish.
Yeah, like, the only time they'll work together, much like most people between the towns, they'll work together when they need to, but other than that, not really.
Yeah. Right.
A lot less bureaucracy than Neverwinter, I guess.
Especially in the towns, in these towns, and I guess you would know this, kind of, just because of who you are. While it is like kind of like common knowledge across Neverwinter, across Faerun, that 10 towns is built built upon like thieves, vagabonds, maybe murderers.
Good salt of the earth people.
Yeah, it's mostly people that are on the run from something, or who have settled in 10 towns. So you would know that like it's everyone in these towns for the most part are me. There's the only bureaucracy that happens is pretty much just a farce between the towns, where the leaders of each town try to argue over why they should have more rights in places for fishing and hunting to sustain their town over the others.
Yeah.
Picture the debates that we had the other night, but with 10 people instead of just 2.
Oh my gosh.
And that's kind of what happens between the speakers of the towns.
Wow.
Oh god.
Nothing gets done.
Nothing gets fucking done.
Nothing gets done.
That's why it ends up just becoming each town for themselves, with whatever trade whatever little trade is necessary between each town, because some of them do specialize in things more than others. Whatever trade needs to happen will happen, but outside of that, nah.
All right. Cool. Okay. So are we heading to the town center then to buy things? Do we need to act that out, or do we just like...
I mean, unless you want to ask around stuff to any of the people, no, you can say if there's anything you want to try to buy with what little monies you have.
Yeah, how do you guys have more than 1 gold? How are you rich thieves? What narrative is that?
Backgrounds than you?
Yeah.
So outside of just your starting equipment, your background gives you some gold. Most backgrounds give you between 5 and 15 gold.
What?
Yeah. What background did you choose?
Oh, let me look.
And while he's looking, I will say that Korlavra will want to question people and see if they had any interactions with Sephic.
Mm-hmm.
What's the caravan's name again?
The caravan's name is literally just Torg.
Torg, yeah.
Org.
It's just Torgo without the A.
Okay.
What do you mean
replace the
background?
A with
Like my
apostrophe S.
future? My background is a soldier.
Soldier?
Where are they headed next?
Um,
You should
We're
have
gonna go
10 gold.
north.
so you got it before me? I was like looking it up right now too. Yeah, you should have 10
I
gold
should have
there,
what?
Casey.
10? Oh, wow. Okay, well, there you go. Now I can totally buy snow boots.
Yeah, 10 gold.
And,
We should be going north.
So here, let me. Even though you're still in this town, let me open up or send you guys to the Icewind Dale map.
Yeah.
So she said that she knows that they're had to head west first to Targos because she's following the roads, and then she assumes they're heading up north to Tourmaline afterwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Silsa would be okay with heading that way. She's actually going to ask Erica's character about the old house. Has she been there?
I don't occupy it, but I do go back every, once or twice a year to make sure it's still standing. No one's moved in, clean it out a little. But I haven't been back in several months.
I can't wait to go back.
Dun, dun, dun. And if you wanted to ask, you said you wanted to ask if anyone has done business with the Torg traveling.
Yes, and specifically if anyone had done like any type of business with Sephic.
All right. Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation. That is not what I'm looking for.
Did she say how long ago they left?
It's been 3
Enchanted?
days since the last murder,
Oh,
so
Okay.
they've left probably. They'll stay like usually 2 days in each town, so they left like 2 days ago.
okay.
Yeah.
Did you roll yet?
I was trying.
There you go. 8.
Wow, my investigation is garbage.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I know, I got a 0.
You ask around like some of the merchant stalls and if anyone's been, doing any sort of trying
Trade.
to any information you can get out of them. The most you get out of them is they say, well, they didn't really do business with the company themselves. It's just another competition, essentially. You do that whereas a lot of these merchants sell, whatever they can get their hands on in that town. They've noticed that like, a lot of stuff that the Torga is selling, is marked up, but it's a wider variety than what they're selling. And Torga is the one that's actually selling everything. And from what they've gathered with Sephic, while he doesn't talk much, and he's definitely her fucking like bodyguard, just by the way he carries himself. Like never leaves her side. But that's what you can ascertain with that roll.
That's more than I thought I was going to get.
I mean, there was a lot more to get. You just didn't get it.
And so I'm assuming we all go to purchase some boots.
If you'd like to, yeah. So, like I said, it's 2 gold to buy the boots. Like I said, without the boots, you move at a 1/4 mile per hour during overland travel. And to get to the next town is 2 hours. So, You can imagine how long of a travel that will be.
So
Well,
there's
I'll see-
nothing else we want to do here in Bryn Shander?
That's up to you guys. I know Stanislaus said that he just wants to get this done with because apparently you sicken all of you sicken him. Like, wow,
He doesn't even know the three of us, and he already hates us.
right?
I think it's because I'm made of metal.
Rude.
Yeah, like, so rude. I'm gonna eat one of my nachos now.
I don't think there's anything I would want to do. There's no shrines in Bryn Shander, right?
There is a shrine, actually. There's the House of the Morning Lord. Well, sure, I'll put you guys back on the Bryn Shander map.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming, I forgot which god that would be.
It is, sorry. It is, the shrine to, I'm going to fuck up the pronunciation of this name. Amon Nader? Who is apparently the god of the sun.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I'm gonna say that's
I-
a pronunciation guide, because I don't fucking. Of course it's not. Why would it be? But yeah, it
Seems
is.
odd.
It is a full. It says it's a modest converted house that serves as a gathering place for worshippers of Amon Ader, the god of the sun,
okay.
known to take both male and female forms.
I won't visit there as it's not a god Dormax really knows about or cares about.
Not interested.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Not torn. I don't care.
Not torn. Dormark, you worship you worship Morndin, right?
Yeah, Morndin.
Yeah, the only place you're gonna find a shrine to Morndin.
Probably be Clan Battlehammer's
Yep.
place. Makes sense.
Some place where there's a lot of dwarves.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys wish to do in town before we?
Did we all purchase boots?
If,
Are we
if you
going
all
to do
want
that
to
now?
purchase boots, you may. I'm not gonna make you guys act out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Buying.
All right.
Uh,
Gold and snow boots.
Yeah, I purchased snow boots, and I'm hoping everyone else does so we can get there quicker.
I will ask.
How much do they weigh?
Where?
Snow boots weigh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just
4 pounds, I think.
I think so. I think it's 4. I'm about to just
Oh yeah, because it weighed 4 and Cold Gear weighs 5.
10 pounds overview. Here we go.
Yeah, 4.
Yep,
Dang.
4 pounds for snowshoes.
Where would they have stayed? Where would the caravan have camped?
Do you ask that as well while you're investigating?
Yes. Yes. I would like to ask around.
Because since it's still part of that investigation, they don't know exactly where they've been staying. They know that they're staying in town, or whatever towns they're in that day. They assume that it's, at the inns, but they're not our shop. We don't keep track of that.
Okay.
One of them says
which inn?
one of the people that you might ask around says oh, they got dog sleds to help them travel. The bigger towns might have stables that they keep the dogs in, but that's about it. I'm not sure.
I tell the group maybe we should go to the stables before we leave town, see if we can get any more information.
I'm fine with that, but it's probably a very frequented place. But let's go check then.
Well, I feel like a human who's not affected by the cold would be someone who stands out.
Fair point.
Okay.
That's fair.
Make our way to the stables.
All right. You get to the stables. Of course, there is no like information on like who runs the stables.
Sweet. Make it up.
That's what we're
Bob.
gonna have to do.
Bob the human.
We'll say that you see kind of like a middle-aged couple that are running it. You see like the woman's like, but actually we'll say that when you get there, they're both kind of like scrubbing down and like feeding whatever horses are there at the time. You do see a couple. I'd say you probably see about like half a dozen horses. Mostly, I can't really give a description of the horses. They're just travel horses. What do you expect to be pulling some caravans?
Warm blood.
Oxen.
Then you probably see like a kennel that has maybe a dozen or so dogs, a couple wolves in there. And yeah, it's kind of like feeding time, like for those that they're, keeping track of at that time. The gentleman will look up. He's like, "Can I help you? Do you have animals you wish to store with us? I don't." He's like, "I don't." Looks at Dormark's like, "We don't really house machines."
I sleep in a bed. Thank you very much.
Oh, my apologies.
Not upside down like a bat.
I meant no disrespect.
Oh, stone.
Okay then.
But we're actually here to ask about a passing caravan that might have stabled their sled dogs or any of their animals. They're the what was it again?
Org.
Torg. Yeah, the Torg.
Well, they stay here every month or so when they come through. Most of the people that shelter their dogs or horse here are usually ones that are coming from the rest of or from south of the spine of the world and heading up into our fine establishment of towns. The Torgs, they do travel, as I said, every once, maybe twice a month. They're here in Brinshander. Not too often because they're only here for maybe half the year anyway before they head back down south.
Mm. So they haven't been here recently, or?
No, they were just here just the other day. They were, kept their horses, kept the dogs here for about 2 or 3 days and paid their bill and went on their way.
Did you overhear any mention of where exactly they were planning to go?
It's not really our business. I assume they're just heading. They didn't. Since the south gate towards like the rest of Faerun is right there. He's like they definitely didn't go out this gate, so I know they're still somewhere in the Dales.
Thank you.
I mean, if you wait a couple, I guess unless you really want to do trade with them, if you wait a couple weeks, they'll be back. You'll be able to buy whatever they have on them. I know they've been selling a lot of things to keep people warm lately. They've been making a killing.
What have they been selling to keep? Is it just like standard clothing, or is it like more arcane in nature?
No, it's not arcane.
It's just clothing and.
I know she does sell stuff that's to keep people warm. I just gotta find it. It's they've got a lot of like flasks of like whale oil for our burners, a lot of blankets and furs, stuff like that.
Okay.
But you see how cold it's been lately. They doing great with it.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I think that's all.
You get a horse or some dogs and remember to bring them back here.
Will do.
I would feel sorry for the poor horse.
Yeah, the last horse wasn't exactly up to standard.
Oh no. What happened there?
I mean, he's fine. Just he had to take a bit of the horse had to take a month or two of rest, and I haven't tried to ride an animal since.
Jesus.
I weigh like 400 or 300 without gear and 400 with gear.
Jesus. All
Being
right.
made of metal is very heavy.
All right. Is there anything else you all wish to do before heading out?
Nope.
Nope.
Not that I can think of.
All right. Cool. So you all, decide to head out to the west, towards the town of Targus.
It's not that far away, right?
I believe it's
2 hours travel?
Let me see how overland travel. It will take you 2 hours to get to Targos.
Okay.
Hold on. Table assumes they're on foot. Yeah. So yep. So 2 hours to get to Targus.
Yeah. Should be
And that's the
comfortable.
snow boost figure, not the no snow boost figure.
It does the snow boots figure, and if you didn't have snow boots, it would take you 4 hours.
Okay, so it's exactly half.
Yeah.
And Lynn isn't coming with us, right?
Lynn is not coming with you. She said her old bones are too much.
Yeah. Right.
And if you guys wish to bypass Targos completely, it is 6 hours total to get to Tourmaline.
I think it's on the way. It makes sense to make a stop there.
Ask around again.
I need someone to roll me a d20, please.
I'll do it. Just a straight d20.
Just a straight d20.
Oh,
Alright.
hopefully that's a good thing. Oh god.
Oh, it's the worst things.
The worst
Either-
one.
Taylor, are you
Either
okay?
good thing or
Yeah,
very
I'm
bad
fine.
thing.
Okay, I just saw your cat.
Yeah, he kicked me in the face. It's fine.
Your cat kicked you.
I just looked over the second monitor to see Taylor with his cat and just bop in the face.
Alright. Someone other than Chris, roll me a d6.
I will.
Okay.
Me.
Alright.
Ooh. Blah. Sorry.
That's fine. Alright.
I mean,
Yeah,
we don't
that's
even
cool.
know
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so you don't know what's happening yet.
who could be good.
Could be. It could be, it could not be. Cool. Alright.
I don't know what that's for.
It's a lot of d6.
Those sure are a bunch of random numbers.
I know.
Those are lots of numbers, aren't they? You about halfway through your travel to Targus, you see out in the distance. It's not directly in your route to it, but you see a large herd of elk. Kind of like they're like grazing on whatever what very little grass, and mostly just I guess whatever coming off of trees, because as there is that much snow, if they stand on it, they're gonna be halfway up a fucking tree trunk when you're off the road. So like they're they're all just kind of grazing. But that's honestly your encounter if you wish to be dicks to this herd of elk.
No.
Which side is it? Like to the north, to the south?
It'll be. I'll say it's to the south of you because why not?
Okay.
You also see like mixed in with a couple of those elk. You see maybe like 4 or 5 humans as well, like just kind of like
hurting them.
Yeah, essentially making sure the elk are getting fed. The humans that you see are like these big, like broad-shouldered men that even at a distance you can see that they are not decked out armor-wise, but weaponry-wise they are decked to the nines.
Are these one of the what am I saying? The roving tribes?
I wouldn't say it's the whole tribe, as it's only about 4 or 5 people, but I can see Silsa and Korlavra. You would kind of recognize this. They are they look like they would be members of the barbarian tribes that live in and around the Dales. Seeing as they are surrounded by a bunch of elk, you can assume they are from the tribe of the elk.
Yeah.
Which is one of the larger barbarian tribes of the 4 remaining. Actually, Korlavra, since you're the one that's been in town, you're the one that's been living in here the longest and weren't out of the Dales. Roll me a history check.
History. I definitely do not have proficiency in that.
You don't need it. 15. You've heard tale recently of some members of the tribe of the elk have been just indiscriminately murdering any 10-towners. It's like a small group of them, but it still has happened. These ones, no one's really hiding. They see you and they don't really pay you any mind, but you have heard tale of that happening.
Yeah.
And I really hope I didn't I hope I didn't tell you the wrong tribe that's been doing that.
Okay. Korlavra will just
95% sure it was people from the tribe of the elk.
Okay. Korlavra will just say, like, we need to pass through. Like, not to them. I'm saying, like, to our group.
To the party.
Yeah, to the party. Like, we should continue on quickly.
Is it the elk one?
Well, you know me. Like, I'm not going to resort to unnecessary violence. So I'll agree with Korlavra.
All right. Cool. Oh, I think I was wrong.
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, you still know that one of the tribes have been doing it. We'll put that on the back burner in case that ever comes to fruition. But one of the tribes have been doing that lately.
We'll pretend not to meta.
Are they doing it with an ice knife?
No, they're doing it with battle axes and songs to their god of Tempest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. By songs, I really just mean battle cry of going, Tempest! And striking you down. That is how the barbarians sing. They just cry out to their god as they murder things.
Sweet. Okay. So, do we have another encounter? Do we get to target?
There's no rhyme or reason to when you get encounters. I just figure I'll probably just give you guys one between each town. Just because I'm not going to go through nothing but encounters all day.
Yeah.
Just have one episode of just encounters.
Yeah, if this was an experience-based module, give you all the encounters you want. But you don't get experience for these fights. Why give you encounters?
Fair enough. All right, Targos.
Hold on, I'm trying to move my tokens around so I can get you to Targos. Where did it go? God damn it, stop it. There it is. There's Targos. Targos!
Whoa, transition.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Da-da-da-da.
Diddly-doo, diddly-doo.
Oh, it's much smaller.
Are those ducks? That's adorable.
Those are docks. Wouldn't you know it?
That's so optimistic.
Well, for the longest time, where there is now a sea of ice, there was indeed water.
Or at least some of the year.
But right now is not one of those times where there is water. I'm going to put the labels on the map real quick for you. Map layer. Shit.
Label.
I need to put the actual map into the back. There you go. There's your map. So obviously you guys will be coming down from the south. When you get to this fork in the road, you guys can continue on into Targos if you want, or say fuck that place. 'Tis a silly quest.
I think we decided we were going to stop in Targos. Just
Might as well check.
Targos, much like Bryn Shander, which you can see on the map, it is surrounded by a wall. This is a wooden wall. It says, which helps to protect the town from orcs and other threats from the wilderness. Mostly orcs lately. About a couple decades ago, it was definitely the barbarian tribes. The wall extends out into the lake, creating a safe harbor for the town boats, but as the long winter has frozen the water, many of the boats are trapped in the ice. But a few, like some of the smaller vessels, are actually dragged across the ice till it gets to the unfrozen part of the lake north of here, or northeast of here, to do what fishing they can do. As well as there are probably some people that just ice fish and just cut into that ice until they get to water. A lot of the towns make the living off the lakes. Targos apparently used to have has the biggest fishing fleet, but kind of sucks that they can't really use that right now.
Right?
In the town, I guess the places I'll point out are the things that are on this map. The Luskin Arms is the inn, as well as the town speaker's residence. The Three Flags Sailing is the tavern, and the Triglio is a general store.
Okay.
wait, the inn is also the speaker's residence.
Yep.
That
Corrupt.
seems really awesome, actually.
Yep. And he does, and it's the current. The speaker has a residence of their own, or I guess an official residence. But apparently, the current speaker prefers to live at the inn because it reminds him of home.
I'm going to the bathroom really quick.
Take your time.
Well, I would assume we're either going to go to the inn or the tavern.
It's up to you. What do you guys wish to do?
Is it an and a tavern?
There's two different. Oh no, the inn is the Luskin Arms, and the tavern is the Three Flags Sailing.
Okay.
What time is it?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell in the Dales since it's almost since you don't really see the sun itself anymore. You only get about 4 hours of somewhat of light each day.
Twilight.
And that is from between 11 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only semblance of what time you might have. It is closer to probably 4 right now. So it is dark.
Okay.
You can see the town is lit up with, at least the main roads. Have a few streetlights keeping late. Siobhan, you probably be able to tell us the most, just because, or Siobhan and Dormark could be able to tell because magic. These lights that are here in this town are not oil lamp. They are kept up by never-ending flame spells.
Is there like a town caller or anything like that?
A town caller?
Yeah, someone that would call out the hours of the day, anything that any music in town.
You would not see that at all.
Well, that's silly. Who runs this place?
The speaker.
An innkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, so really the question is, are we going to push on? Like, how much time do we want to spend here before we push on to Tourmaline?
Well, we haven't done anything to require a rest, so I would say that we should push on.
We don't.
Okay.
Do we know if the Torg is here or not?
Well, let's go ask. Probably.
Yeah, ask.
Find that out.
That's a good point.
Do we split up
That
so we
sounds-
use less
We're
time?
really going to split the party in the first fucking
Yes.
section.
Yes.
All the time.
You're in town. What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
Or to be fair,
I don't like it
10
when someone
towns.
does that.
I mean, I'm down to split the party. There's 3 places that they possibly could have went to. And there's 5 of us, so 2 of us could go to each place and 1 by themselves.
Well, see, I think going off on your own is how you get murdered by a knife to the chest. So probably don't want to be alone unless you're planning to be big.
I'll go with Siobhan.
I think Silsa wouldn't want to separate from her sister after just reuniting with her so soon.
So
Oh yeah.
are we going back to the party pre-convergence of you two of Siobhan and Stanislaus, and then Silsa, Korlavra, and Dormark.
Okay. That sounds good. Let's we will go to 3 Flag Sailing. You can go to the Luskan Arms, and we can meet up at Trilago, unless one of us gets mugged.
Well, why don't? Yeah, that's fine. Actually, yeah, I agree.
Cool.
All right, off to Luskan Arms we go.
Let's do the Luskan Arms first. Just because Casey said something first.
Cool.
Okay, while they're doing that, I'm gonna go grab some more water.
Take it out. I'm reading up on Luskan Arms real quick. All right. You make your way to the inn, and there's this the whole building it looks pretty old. It is definitely probably just by glancing around the rest of the town, it is definitely the oldest building in town.
Sure.
But you see a wonderful sign on there that it says the Luskan Arms. And it looks it looks like it's built in to be reminiscent of what an inn in Luskan would look like back in its heyday.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no reference.
Luskan, in timeline of Forgotten Realms, about 200 years ago in Luskan, it was considered the city of sails. It was the last stopping point for major city major city and trade before the Dales. It was run by the layout of the town and the decor was very reminiscent of sailor merchants and pirates. So this building is very similar built to that, to make kind of give you the reminder of a sailing merchant essentially.
Okay.
Or
That'd probably be the best
I
way.
assume that we step inside. Can I roll a perception check just to see if I observe anyone or anything
Sure.
peculiar?
Good.
Does that work? Okay. Well, I don't see shit. Great.
You still see something.
Nothing. I see an inn. I see tables and chairs. And people.
Well, you see this inn is not as rowdy or used as the one in Bryn Shander. Especially even though it is dark, a lot of the working folk are out fishing still, trying to get whatever they can for their day of work. What you do hear this though, because it is a relatively quieter bar. You hear like a lot of tiny feet scurrying like in the walls.
Tiny feet how?
Like a lot of like.
Okay.
So more like vermin, not like
Yeah.
halflings.
You hear some squeaks every once in a
Same
while.
difference.
Thinking like the people beneath the stairs or something like that.
No, not that. No, it's like you hear multiple like tiny little rodent sounding
Gross.
scurrying.
But to Swivelback, explain to me the exact difference between vermin and halflings.
I'm not gonna respond.
I'm
Not even here.
You're
That's
not there,
Yeah.
but
Is that racist? I feel like that's racist.
You're not
Maybe.
there either.
Well, we're in there. And I'm sorry, remind me once more, because I'm confused the way that you guys have been talking about Torga. Is Torga a person or is Torga like a group?
Both.
Yes.
Torga is a person, her group is the Torg.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the entire caravan is just known as the Torg, but Torga is the person who
Okay.
who's
I
running.
wasn't sure if and then
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, Sepik is the peculiar one or whatever that's wearing the same outfit
Yep.
and everything. All right.
So
Because
that's
we
the
haven't talked.
peculiar one. Torga is a female dwarf that owns the Torga trading caravan.
Just needed a refresher. So
Yeah,
I guess
good.
Siobhan is with me, right? Siobhan, do you want to do anything? But because I'm about to approach the bar or wherever. We're like, well, no, we're at an inn, so I'm about to approach the front desk or whatever, the concierge.
There is a quiet balding man behind the counter, and he's like, are you staying here at the actually that changed that. He's like very monotone voice, like are you staying here at the Luskin Arms?
Well, we certainly might, depending on what information you're able to give us. We've been tracking some individuals down over the past few days, right? It's been days, like
For
right? It
you,
hasn't been.
this would be like day 2 for you, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Stays plural.
Yes, and I was wondering if you might have any information to be willing to provide us.
I can see what I can do. What who are you looking for? And he pulls out a book of like who may or may not have been staying at his inn.
Well, it's going to be a large party, actually. Several people, one of which particularly peculiar. He's not wearing any winter garb. He's dressed in all black leather.
And he's like still with the monotone voice, like, no, you're talking about the trading people. He's not like it's not under his name. He like scrolls through. I was like, oh, they're just actually he wouldn't even have to scroll through. He's like, they just left this morning, heading north. Torga paid for the whole group.
Did you ever happen to hear anything that they were saying, where they were going, what they were doing?
They're selling things to, to the town folks. They just make the same pass the same route over and over before they leave.
What is that route?
I actually had this written down, and I don't know where I wrote it down at.
Seems like go from Ace Haven to Targos to Bryn Shander
Oops.
to Targos.
I'm gonna go to the Icewind Dale map on my own. All on my lonesome. Icewind Dale. There it is. He goes, well, from here, to go to Tourmaline, then to Lonelywood, then back down to here, then to Bremen. Actually, I should put you on the map so you guys can see what I'm talking about. That might be a smart idea. There you go.
Transition.
So it's like from what? No, just say from what he knows. It's like they go from here to Tourmaline to Lonelywood, back down to here, then to go to Bremen, then back to here, then to Bryn Shander, and from there, I guess they hit all the towns over there, making the way back to here, and doing that whole route over again.
Okay. So you would say that they're on their way to Tourmaline, right? And did they leave this morning, or was that yesterday?
They left. He's like, well, this morning, because no sun.
Excellent, Siobhan. We're not that far behind. We must reunite with our party.
Right. I had a couple more questions. How many were in their party?
Well, there's Torga and Sefik.
Yeah. Oh, dear God.
And then
how many total people? I don't
he's
care
going,
about.
He's going through. It's like, I believe she paid for 6 rooms, or she paid for 3 rooms, but there were 6 people. The other 4 just, I guess, they picked things up, put them down.
Right. Have there been any mysterious murders in the last 24 hours?
In the last 24 hours? No, not that I've heard of.
Great. Let's find the others.
Thank you for coming to the Luskin Arms. Like, yeah, such a deadpan thing coming.
Were you going to tip him for his information? Because I'm not.
I don't see how that's the law.
I don't see how that's cool.
I guess
That was awesome.
Whatever happened to you should treat service workers better? They're not paid enough.
Concierges aren't service workers, they're salaried.
Oh my god.
God, this is gonna be a constant thing.
Meanwhile,
Diddle-diddle-doo.
Tartarus, there we go. You 3 make your way to the Three Flags Sailing.
Yes.
It is yeah, since this actually is a tavern, there's a couple people here. This building is not. This building just looks very similar to the rest of them. It's not old. It's not taken after Luskin. But you see like running back and forth between tables and like carrying out food, and drink. I can't even say running because it's not packed. It says it is a plump, gray-haired widow by the name of. Her name is Ethan Yarbrough, which I will post into the chat. But she's like going back and forth between the tables. She's like, "How are y'all doing today? What do you need to drink?" And when she sees y'all coming, she's like, "There's a table over here. Like, make yourselves at home. I'll be right with you."
Like, she's one of the only people who hasn't stand and stared for a solid 3 seconds. It's worrying and reassuring at the same time.
Like she'll takes an order from like one of the other tables, gets something, makes her way over to like, "So how y'all doing? My name's Ethan, but y'all can call me Ma. You're a big one, aren't you? What can I get for you?"
We're more interested in information than in consumption.
Oh, you can't be doing work without on an empty stomach.
Do you have any grease or fat left over from cooking?
a strange order, but looking at you, I can see why. I can look right up for you. What about the rest of you?
I'll have some tea.
Just going to lard yourself up?
I'm not gonna lather myself in it. You're not here.
No, Siobhan doesn't want to know. She thinks it's right. Taylor wants to know, are you just going to slather yourself with lard?
I'm gonna drink it. Got to keep the inner workings smooth and functioning.
I'll allow this.
Do you want me to like oil myself up like a bodybuilder?
Maybe if you were a Warforged monk.
Maybe.
And she's like, right, so I need some grease, need some tea. What about you, dear?
I'll just take an ale.
Come right
Mead.
up. And
Whatever
she'll
we have.
meander away. Not really. She'll like go away, look around. You hear like a little like something tip over in the back, and she's like, "Mother, that'd be nice." And she's like, she'll come out. She's like with the tea and the ale. She's like, "Well, there was more grease, but I spilt it." And you can see like there's like she's got her arm wrapped up a little bit. Here you go. So anything else that you need? You said you were looking for some information. What do you need?
Yes, we believe that the Tord caravan passed through here, possibly within the past 48 hours.
They got completely blitzed last night. They tipped very well too. I love them.
They did very well.
Yes, they did.
What were they doing in the tavern?
Well, what else do you do in a tavern, dear? You drink, you eat, you be happy.
Okay. That's all I have to ask. You can go ahead.
Does Silsa have anything to ask?
Alrighty.
I thought you had more to say, my bad.
I kind of forgot why we're in here.
Oh,
It's
it's okay. We're asking for information about the Torg and Sephic.
On I guess a darker note, has there been any murders in here in the more recent time? Like last 48 hours, maybe?
Very interested in the last 48 hours, dear. But I think we would, if there was another murder, we would all heard about it. The last one in this town was a couple weeks ago, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Pretty nasty business.
Do you know anything about? Did you know the previous victim?
I gotta double check who the victim was. Hold on. Cool.
I didn't think about I'm glad you asked that, Dormark, because I totally didn't think to.
Oh, he's a shipbuilder in this town. Okay. Poor Kresic. He's been out of a job for a couple months now, thanks to lack of water or lake. He was a shipbuilder, but thankfully he's, I guess, sad, but also grateful that he didn't have a family here. That'd be awful to leave them behind like that. Bless his soul.
Well, his name one more time? Sorry?
He did not have family.
Oh, his name, sorry.
Oh, his name, Kresic.
Cress.
I'm honestly making that up, so I'll put it there.
Oh, wow, that's completely different than I thought. Okay.
The wonders of fantasy names, they never spelled the way you expect them to.
I haven't gotten a single one right.
Yes.
I was really close. I put a C instead of a K. I was this close.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else we should ask. I mean, town.
What was the general conversation about amongst the people of the Tor caravan? Any juicy gossip or information?
Roll me a d10.
Oh,
That was the question to ask.
D10.
Oh my. I was thinking of. Oh shoot. Where's my
6. I don't know what that means.
Okay, don't worry about it. Well, they actually brought some interesting gossip to me. They've been there's been a word over. They came from. I believe they came from Bryn Shandy first, but before then, I knew they came from the eastern towns. But they told us that apparently there's been some evil wizard that's killed some adventurers outside of East Haven. And the militia there actually plans on burning the wizard at the stake for the next sacrifice at the new moon.
When's the next sacrifice?
At the next new moon. I have to do off camera because I don't have a timeline for when the next new moon is. But that's when the next sacrifice is.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so
I would actually be interested in the moon calendar.
It's
That's
really
very
I
big
gotta come up
news.
with a start date of where we are in accordance to the calendar.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have that,
Yeah.
but it is
Hey.
I think there's 3 10 days to a month, so I think the moon calendar is actually on just the 10 days. So every 30 days it's a new moon.
okay.
But I will come up to where we are in that cycle to when it is.
So you said there's an evil wizard outside of East Haven. What was he doing?
He was caught. Apparently, he was caught killing some adventurers.
Oh,
And I mean, the town from what the tour was told, the militia caught him, but they said they plan on burning him at the stake. They're not in the Toros. They're not very interested in it. They're more merchants, but they did make mention that the captain of the guard over there is looking for some well-minded people to help with something that stems from this wizard. I don't know the details to it, but just hearing that there was a wizard that wizards are rare up here, and I think that we finally get a wizard up in the 10 towns and turns out to be a murderer. It's poor adventurers.
Do you think it could have anything to do with the 3 recent murders?
When he was caught.
Do you ask that out loud?
Yeah,
Oh.
sure.
She's like, well, the murders that, from my understanding from this wizard, he fireball. And the nameless murders that have happened in the last month throughout the towns have been
Dice stackers.
yes. Very different modes there.
Yeah. So they might have something in common. I don't know about that. If it is the same person, well, then we don't have to worry about any more murders, now do we?
Very true.
But it's probably not likely.
And she go,
Okay.
well, you enjoy your tea and ale, and you enjoy your grease there. When you're all done, that will be. She counts out. It's like a copper. That'll be 6 copper for the ale and the tea, total. So 1 copper for the tea, 5 copper for the ale, and I don't know what to charge you for the grease.
That's fair.
Why don't I just give you a silver?
That will be fair. And I
For
thank you for it.
grease?
I slide her a silver.
All right. She goes, well, you enjoy your drinks, dears, and if you need anything else, again, just call me Ma. I'll come back and get you something.
Wow, Lavi, look at you. What a big spender.
Anything for family, I've always been very much about protecting you.
Thanks for the grease. Well, immediately
Yes.
just chug it all. Just like my mouth
Just go
on hinges
for it.
and just
God
The
damn.
Korlavra is literally like just oddly disgusted and fascinated at the same time. Like,
You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
to keep me well running. Tip top shape.
There you go.
sure.
So yeah, you guys enjoy your drinks, and eventually,
Wait. Korlavra will then pound her ale.
Oh.
Like, in camaraderie.
the ale it is decent ale. It is not the best ale you've had, but
That's okay.
it gets the job done. It doesn't taste like piss water.
Silsa
Better
just
than
sips her tea quietly because it's warm and it's nice to hold on to.
Alright. I love that. Like,
I love seeing behind the curtain.
like I'm watching like Casey's like screaming. It's hilarious to watch. Like,
So weird.
um.
Elders warping around him.
Anyway, yeah, but eventually, Siobhan and Stanislaus will arrive at the tavern. And right away,
I thought we were gonna meet at Triglio.
I think,
Yeah.
Oh, is that where you guys were going to?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both go to the tavern inn and then meet up.
Okay.
We were, but then you guys decided to stick around and have drinks.
Yeah, you guys really deviated from.
And
I
Man.
chugged it. It was only Silsa over here that was sipping.
I
we
took
meet up
mine.
at Triglio.
All right,
Yeah,
so
we-
then, never mind. Then we'll say you guys will eventually all meet up at Triglio. Siobhan and
After a
Stanislaus
mild
get there
delay.
much sooner than you guys.
So we meet outside the shop or in the shop?
It's up to you.
I guess we meet inside the shop.
Yeah, where it's not freezing. Well, as freezing.
There you go. Inside Triglio says the proprietor is a human male that says he's a scarecrow-like fella who has fished on the lake most of his life until his left hand was crushed in a collision with a boat from Tourmaline.
Wow.
So like
So he's-
we'll just say whatever part of his hand is left is like constantly like in
Strong hand.
Here comes my strong hand. Sometimes I whip those potatoes off and get a lick in the...
Wow.
What was that? 2002.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, a man named Justin. If you wish to have his name as well, I can put that in the chat. You can have his last name too, because why not? Justin Hunray. And like inside the shop, it is your stereotypical general store. Anything that is in the adventuring gear in the PHB is sold here.
Okay.
With the exception of any fishing and sailing supplies, because that is considered specialty. They're supplied by specialty crafters and merchants.
Because they have a monopoly on it.
Yep. But I guess he had Stanislaus and Siobhan. You guys would have arrived first, and he'd be like, I don't have a voice for him. He's like, he looks like, welcome to Triglio. How can I help you?
Oh, I'm just here to loiter.
Wow.
Just be honest.
He's like just like blinks a couple times, like, well, that's not good for business.
No, it isn't.
And he will laugh and be like, I like you. What about
Right.
you, Mr. Soldier looking man?
Soldier looking man.
To be honest, I'm really not sure why we're here. Out of character.
That's it. That's just where you guys decided to meet up at. That's not on me. That's on y'all.
To ask maybe if he did any trading.
He is a
Okay.
merchant.
Oh, okay. All right. That's the only one I missed, is that what this place was. I knew the other place.
Oh yeah, Triglet. It's a general store.
Okay. So, well,
He will
we were wondering,
coughing.
you're a merchant, yes?
He like looks around his store and says, "What place do you think this is?"
Well, we were wondering if you had recently done any dealings with a peculiar set of characters, one of which specifically was wearing all black, leather, and a sleeveless vest with no cold weather gear.
Go for one sec.
Oh, not with a figure like that. Last, you see, there was like a group of people.
Yes.
I mean, last group that came through the bought all my entire stock of fucking whale oil.
And how many days ago would you say that was?
About 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I'm still waiting on my next shipment to come in. It won't be another week before I get more.
Well, thank you, sir. You've been a great help.
You're welcome. Do you want to buy anything, or are you just here to ask about oil?
Well, we had our hearts set on getting some whale oil, but sadly, it seems you can't help us.
Nice save.
Well, I could put some on back order for you.
Oh no, that won't be necessary.
And he sees like, oh.
We'll have to source it from whoever bought it from you, I suppose.
If we can find them.
He like squints at you like, you son of a bitch.
All right. So,
But yeah, if you guys want, you can say as you like walk outside, you can see your compatriots making the way up to you, to the inn,
Making
to the
our way
tavern,
downtown.
whatever it is.
oh, okay.
Yep. Cool.
Well, what were you guys able to find out?
we share information.
Yeah, like there's been murders, blah blah blah, Wizard, East Haven. Or do you want us to actually like talk out?
I mean, if you just
Wizard.
want to skip all of it, you don't have
Well,
to.
there's some stuff that I'll like sharing because I actually want to talk through it
Okay.
Okay.
for like other brains on it.
Okay.
Right. So we know the next few towns they're going to be in if they keep to their normal schedule. They went to Tourmaline this morning. So
We're
about
not
how
far
long would that
behind.
take to get there?
Takes about 4 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
But we have no reason to believe they did any of the previous killings, though, right?
The
Well,
only
that's the theory that our employer is working off of, which is basically the wild goose that we're here to chase. Certainly, we at least need to talk to these people.
Yeah, I don't think the idea of just like abandoning these people while we're so close to them to go off and hunt a wizard would be a really great idea.
Yeah.
Can you bring up the Dale map?
Whoop. Hold on.
Also, while we're talking, I'm gonna ask Siobhan. Yeah, Siobhan. Sorry. So, do you know exactly why you can be out in the cold without any gear? Because it might be useful given we're chasing someone that has similar qualities.
No. Tieflings are weird, so I've heard. Just
Okay.
always been like this.
Okay, well, maybe we can find out why it is like that. From
Doesn't
the...
seem particularly a big deal to me, but
can Korlavra make an insight check just to see if I can tell if Siobhan's lying or not?
Am I allowed to do that as well? Or is only one person per check?
Sure. Both of you roll an insight check, and Siobhan, roll. Whisper me whatever whether you want to do, persuasion or deception. Whisper that to me. That roll to me.
How do you whisper a roll?
G/W name /R.
Yeah, it's like GMW or GM Whisper. I think it's like /GM or something like that. I don't know. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm hoping you know how to do it, Taylor.
Oh,
No.
I could
Get an actual die.
roll a physical die and then tell you the number.
Whoa.
You can do that. I'll just take your word on it.
Don't lie.
And yeah, you can whisper to DM. So if I do,
I think he's getting a die. Cool.
Spent
Speed
Yeah,
just
I-
appeared on my map.
increase to better understand.
Nope.
Whisper.
that doesn't work.
You know what? I'll just say it to you in Discord.
Yeah, good.
No one look at Discord.
Well, it'll be to
I'll
me.
private message him in Discord.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the wonders
Russell.
of private messaging.
Great.
Russell.
Okay.
Right.
You believe him.
Okay.
My character's gonna decide to buy a few things while we're at the general store.
You're gonna buy some things.
Yeah.
What you gonna buy?
Whetstone, some... Is it just ball bearings? Yeah. Some ball bearings.
Do I need to pull up the adventure gear?
Oh, I'll figure out the price
Want me
and
to Google
everything.
things?
I
Are
think I
you
want to buy
buying
something.
the
as well.
whole bag of ball bearings? I mean, you kind of have to, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like a single ball bearing, please.
It's
So-
a bag of 1,000 ball bearings for a gold piece.
And a whetstone is a copper.
And I'm going to buy a pair of manticles, seeing as I were hunting down a potential killer.
Right, manacles are 2 gold.
Okay, I'll cough that up.
For our 3 humans, what are you guys using to see when you guys are, especially out on the overland travel?
Do Warforged have dark vision, actually?
Good question.
Oh, shit. I mean, yeah, I don't think they do, but I may be wrong. If not,
Are the paths not like lit?
No,
Or
it's just
like-
it's just open road.
I don't have dark vision, but I have the light cantrip, so I just probably light up my mace like a torch. I mean,
That works too. I'll say I just need to know how you guys are seeing when you guys are not in town.
Yeah. because I can do that.
As can I, so we can have 2 of those going.
A 20-foot radius.
Yeah.
20-foot radius.
Or if
Of,
you got 2 of those going, or either that or that and a torch, you guys should be able to
Fine.
see as you travel. Because while there is a road, it's just like a road out in any wilderness. It's not like there's street lights.
Okay.
So
So you said Dormark's doing the light spell, and what'd you say, Siobhan?
I can also do the light spell.
there you go.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So essentially, I guess one of you would be in the front, one of you would be in the back when we're doing overland travel.
I'll be in the front.
Silsa also has magical tinkering where she can make something light up in a 5 feet radius.
Oh yeah, some crazy stuff.
You
there.
could, I guess, be in the middle. Korlavra would definitely want to be in front of you.
Okay.
Well, it's good to know that I have a marching order now.
Yeah, right? Like,
Must protect.
So what that pretty much means now for me though is depending on the encounters, since I now know who's in front, that person's going to be making the perception checks.
That's good because I have proficiency, but I mean, maybe I haven't had the best luck when it comes to overland travel rolls.
So yeah, you guys can buy what you want, and eventually, are you guys heading out and trying to catch up with the tour company in Tourmaline?
Just the second we're done, we just start heading out.
I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Korlavra is going to slip a gold. Or will Silsa let Korlavra pay for the stuff? For your stuff, Silsa.
It depends. I haven't exactly worked out how much I wanted
No.
of what yet. I'm still shopping, kind of.
I mean, you can continue doing all that in the
Yeah.
background if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spyglass is 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
Damn.
What is?
A spyglass?
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Continue. On the road again.
On the road again.
Wait, was oil sold out?
Yes.
Yes.
Whale oil.
I'm
We have
going
no-
to roll the d20 this time because I want to.
Well,
Oh, you're gonna. Oh, a 1. What does that mean?
Ooh. Ooh.
horde of owlbears just come stampeding towards us.
I don't like that he sounded excited. Like that's
Yeah.
You mean
Not
like this owlbear that I found, like that I got for my, in my Icewind Dale minis?
It's amazing.
That's adorable.
It is adorable. Like it is a frost owlbear. Owl bear.
Owlbear.
Owlbear.
Snowy owlbear.
The owlbear. Cool.
Okay, is it a snowy owlbear or a pole owlbear? Pole owl.
I mean,
Nope,
I
it's
think
not the second one.
I think it's technically a frost owlbear, but sure.
But I mean, come on, snowy owl is a thing.
So we're polar bears, but I don't know.
did not. My name is not Jeremy Crawford or Chris Perkins.
I guess I should take it up with them.
You should. And I think I should make right. Is it actually the snowy owlbear? Holy shit! Yes, snowy owlbear. I thought it was frost. My bad. Cool. Whoever gets it first, roll me a d6.
I want to do it. I rolled last time.
I already rolled.
Oh.
Oh.
Analyst got
Nope.
it. Cool.
We're taking the 5, right?
All right. Give me un momento. Good. I need everyone to roll me a perception.
Oh,
check.
shit.
Roll me perception, please.
Wow.
You about to do it.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Okay.
Hey, finally, a good roll.
Cool. I rolled horrible as well.
I'm not going to be noticing shit all campaign.
Yes. Everyone
yeah.
notices this except for Siobhan. That's how
Oh, wow.
low I rolled.
So I was like,
Like a 5 or something.
I too rolled a 6.
oh.
As you guys are traveling towards Tourmaline, it's ooh, this one always ooh. Double note on this. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So
That mean precious.
as you guys are traveling towards Tourmaline, it starts snowing, and the snow starts to pick up and pick up more, till eventually, it's a full blown fucking blizzard.
Oh no.
That's not great.
Shit.
I guess
How long have we been traveling?
I'm going to pretend like all these encounters are pretty much at the halfway mark of your
Okay.
travel. So, 2 hours into your 4-hour travel to Tourmaline.
Like how bad of a blizzard is it? Is it like a whiteout? Like you can't even see 5 fun in view?
I
Or?
got to open up the blizzard.
This is in the game.
You said 2 hours into travel, and this place is 4 hours away, so this is halfway there. It's a full-on blizzard?
Yeah, about halfway there is when it starts to pick up.
Okay.
How did we not see this coming?
What?
I mean, blizzards can happen
Very fast.
frequently and without warning. It
Especially if it's a magical
during a
blizzard.
The howling winds limit your hearing to a range of 100 feet, and impose disadvantage on ranged attacks, as well as disadvantage on perception checks relying on hearing. What I had you roll for was not on hearing, so you're good on that.
Okay.
Visibility is reduced to 30 feet. With or without dark vision, your vision is reduced to 30 feet.
That makes sense because it's not darkness; it's clouding out your vision.
But it is also darkness.
It is also dark, yeah. So,
how far away could you see like a light, like the light cantrip?
I mean, you might be able to see like a vague like outline of light.
Yeah.
If you're past that 30 feet, but you're not going to be able to like get a clear focus on it at all.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure in case we get lost. I mean,
question is, I guess I have one.
Well, we have does someone have an adventurer's pack? We could tie like a corded rope around us to like.
Yeah, I have.
Separated.
I got hempen rope for 50 feet.
I have rope as well.
Yeah, let's do that
Are
then.
you guys tying off to each other?
Yeah, like a line.
I probably would have suggested that. Oh yeah, no, yes, yeah.
Cool. Well,
So what's the order? Is me? Then is it who's next after me?
Korlavra,
It's me.
Then Silsa, then Stanislaus, then Siobhan.
That's a strange marching order, but well.
Hey, y'all can change it.
Not how I would do it, but okay.
Listen, y'all can change it if you want.
No,
All I know is that Korlavra will be next to Silsa. Probably in front of her, unless we're bringing up the end, then she would want to be behind her. But she wants Silsa to be more in the middle, is like how Korlavra feels.
Check to the baby.
Yeah.
Good babe.
Dormark, what's your survival check? What's your survival modifier?
+5.
Okay.
Also, Lily, what's your AC on your character?
I think it is 14.
Okay, well, bump it up to 1 because of my cleric feature. Or bump it up by 1.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I
So
just permanent
good
like it.
news, you guys don't get lost in the blizzard.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
Bad
Thank you,
news.
Stanislaus.
Bad news, and that's where we're going to end this tonight at. You all notice it, but it's because your vision is obscured by the blizzard. Almost at the last minute, you about at like the edge of your like your sight limit, you see out in the snow, two hold on, let me see what how it explains it so I don't fuck it up for you. Two pale blue eyes visible in the snow, and as you possibly wonder what it could be. Please tell me I have a character handout or player handout for this. Oh yes. As you guys just noticed these eyes, the eyes stand up, let out a large roar, and you see this in front of you.
She was talking shit.
Great. This is a wonderful start.
And we'll all tie it up, so if we run away...
And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Man, we're gonna have to cut rope.
With a huge, as it says in the what I'm looking at, a huge monstrosity.
We could take a turn to untie ourselves. It's not like we knotted it. We just wrapped it around us. Think slow.
We can take it.
No, you can't. No, you can't. But that's where we're going to end tonight. As an abominable Yeti. Because that is what Stanislaus or Casey rolled to have what attacked you.
Was that my 5?
Yep.
I'm sorry, guys.
5 was the... Oh, shit.
And the party dies.
TPK second episode. Calling it. I'm glad I mentioned the +1 I gave, because it feels like we're going to need it.
We got snow boots, right? We can outrun this thing.
Maybe. Depends on
Tell
its
me about the
speed.
snow boots.
Yes.
So I would, before we leave, I would just like to hammer out, if it's okay with you, Ryan, where everyone is standing.
I gotta make a map for you guys to fight on. So I do
fair.
not have that yet. What it'll be is, since you guys are traveling like northeast, it is going to be on the road to the left of you all, like so westward. Because
To the left of us,
Yes.
where can you point us out where we are on this map?
So
then
I'm going to put you on the map. I'm just gonna use Dormark. Oh, let's make that smaller.
Hey, it's me.
oh, it's so cute.
You are right around here.
Okay,
And the reason I'm using that is because this thing was hiding on a hill, and there's some hill right next to you,
there is a hill right there. Yes.
and that's where the creature was lying in wait.
Damn. Well, can we just know what 4 was? What was 4?
4 and 5 were the abominable yeti.
Oh, both of them. Okay, so I don't feel as bad.
Okay, so 1 is Blizzard, 4 and 5 is...
Nope, no. Anytime you get a yeti encounter,
Oh.
it's during a blizzard. But the one that I rolled is yeti.
Oh, so the 1 was Yeti, and then the 5 is... Yeah.
A 1 through a 3, you get 1d4 yeti.
Anyway,
You could have gotten
we
the
don't-
yeti tyke, but you didn't roll that.
we don't need to know.
All right. I like to let people know. I'm a nice person.
Well, it might happen again, so it's good if we don't know.
Anyway, that's what
Three
we'll pick up
kobolds in a
next
trash
week. Or maybe, hopefully next week, because work that
Yeah.
I mentioned.
Yeah.
But I want to thank all of you for coming to play. I was super excited for this. I've been excited for way too long to run this campaign. And I also want to thank anyone that has stuck through and watched our lovely little stream. I saw Brad Stoice was in chat for a little bit. He mentioned one thing and just kind of disappeared, but I still.
He had to go to bed.
Aw. Does anyone have anything they wish to say before I do my little outro and say goodnight to people?
Go out and vote.
Yes,
Yeah.
do
We're all
that.
gonna die.
Go out and vote.
Please, for the love of God. Or whatever gods you might believe in. But yeah. Other than that, guys, as usual, this is Cautionnerds. We'll be doing this on a weekly basis, barring any, last minute shit that happens in life, because, life happens. You may or may not see me on stream later this weekend doing some Among Us like every other streamer in the fucking world right now. It was so fun. Who's going to say no? On that, we will see you guys all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.